Some of you might already heard about it. The tribal knowledge is a knowledge spread vocally. There is no written document. You have to remember everything, or you might fail because you forgot an important piece of that knowledge or whole at once. Having the possibility to write down all the details of some particular solution is something that brought us from the Stone Age to the modern world. With technology, we have spreading knowledge, learning from it, understanding the processes in the past is something that we should make a use from day one when starting a new project. It's for safety of you, me, your company, your work, or your own business. So what can go wrong? Because everything works right now, right? Well, everything can go wrong in the long term because you just don't know. You just don't know why a given coding approach was chosen. What were the pros and cons of the selected approach? What else was considered to use at that time in the past? You know just nothing. Were there any options considered? Have you considered using Vue.js or Angular? Why? Why not? Thinking about obvious features is easy, but during the app lifecycle, there can be features implemented that relies one on another. Without having them written down somewhere, there's no way to make future ourselves or even other people aware of how big the product is and what are the connections between the different parts that seem to be unrelated. When business is not going well, you might also want to check whether somewhere in an app development lifecycle anything bad has been added to the project. Or maybe you will just want to make sure that reducing the scope of server architecture won't break your app and you will avoid losing money. Without proper documentation, devs keep on reinventing the wheel over and over again. At the end, your product teams end up maintaining multiple versions of the same page components, like navs or search forms or data providers. In order to avoid such situations, we have to stop and think, how can we do better? How to improve company communication within the team? For remote teams, clear communication is even more important than for the in-house teams. When working remotely, you have no chance to see all the details of a team member's reaction. You have no chance to see how he behaves. Most of times, the communication is based on written sentences. And here we get to the point. The real win is asynchronous communication. We try to avoid as much as possible online brainstorming meetings because it's difficult to focus for more than 30 minutes on a call. Instead, we've implemented the culture of open ideas. Everyone can contribute to the project decisions. The culture of open ideas in remote teams is achieved by creating docs, writing down the ideas in Confluence, preparing proofs of concepts, and presenting the outcome of it in Confluence pages again. Another way of communicating ideas is done through the Slack app. If someone has a loose idea in one's mind, then such a developer can communicate it on a division Slack channel. If the idea gets some interest, we encourage to write the docs so we can analyze it in our own pace and in the time we find the most suitable for us. This is really important because everyone has different styles of work. Everyone has different moments in a day that they work the most effectively. Putting ideas in docs and making a habit of reading the docs and involving in discussions asynchronously is crucial for our success. The answer to all the issues mentioned earlier in what can go wrong section is to document decisions you and your team are making in the process of software development. The first non-obvious thing that it improves is onboarding docs for newcomers. I bet you had that feeling in your career. You're joining a new project, new team, you've landed a new job. You got introduced into a project, but still you have no idea on how to start coding and contribute to a codebase. Probably you kept asking your new teammates about how to do something, why that done a given way, etc. Having such docs help you a lot in many ways and reduce any need for any additional meetings. Having the docs pays off by not wasting developers' time on answering the same questions over and over again. The questions that comes from the new team members. So the experienced developers will focus on things that matters in order to make projects or business going successful without any distractions in the development phase. And at time, when some new team member has an idea, one can check the docs, check the decisions team made in the past. Even the previous feature analysis can be reread and updated according to the new situation. If there's a new, better solution, then it might be worth to discuss it and make some action points, for instance, doing a spike of proof of concept. Additionally, documenting the coding best practices the team incorporated eases introduction of new developers to a project. They will have less stressful first contributions in the project, with a high chance of not having many comments regarding the code styling and conventions they use. In most cases, such things will be solved by automated tools like ESLint or Piotr on the front-end side. It's still the documentation. At the end, in order to have such a comfortable distractless situation, we have to remember about one thing. It all requires team engagement. Saying that writing the documentation is important is very easy, but such expectations has to be a goal of everyone in the team. If fellow developers doesn't want to contribute to such documentation process, then the idea is senseless. It requires effort, but it pays off in the long term.